Germany, a land of majestic forests, winding rivers and imposing castles. For over 10,000 years this land has been a crossroads of humanity, a place where empires rose and fell, where cultures clashed and blended, leaving their indelible marks upon the very fabric of the nation. But the story of Germany is not just etched in stone and song, it is also written in the very DNA of its people. Deep within the cells of every German lies a hidden history, a genetic tapestry woven from the threads of countless generations past. It is a story of ancient migrations, of battles won and lost, of plagues survived. It is a story of resilience and adaptation, of diversity and unity. This is the story of the hidden genes of Germany. A 10,000-year DNA journey that unravels the secrets of who they were, who they are, and how they came to be. Prepare to delve into the depths of time, to trace the intricate pathways of human migration, and to uncover the genetic legacy that binds the German people to their past and shapes their present. From the first hunter-gatherers who braved the icy landscapes of the last ice age to the arrival of farmers who transformed the land, each wave of migration left its mark on the genetic makeup of the German people. The thunder of hooves across the steppes brought new languages and traditions, while the clash of empires left a lasting imprint on both culture and bloodlines. Join us now as we embark on this extraordinary exploration of the hidden genes of Germany, a 10,000-year DNA story. Our journey begins in an era shrouded in the mists of time, long before the rise of empires or the invention of writing. Picture Europe locked in the icy grip of the last ice age, a vast expanse of glaciers, tundra, and windswept plains. This was the world of the first Germans, nomadic hunter-gatherers who roamed the land following herds of reindeer, mammoth, and other ice age megafauna. These early inhabitants of what would one day be Germany were survivors, their lives shaped by the constant struggle against the elements and the need to secure food in a harsh and unpredictable environment. They lived in small, tight-knit bands, their days consumed by the hunt, the gathering of wild plants, and the maintenance of the tools and shelters essential for survival. Their world was one of intimate connection to nature, their knowledge of the land and its rhythms passed down through generations of accumulated wisdom. These early hunter-gatherers left behind tantalizing glimpses into their lives, stone tools, the charred remnants of ancient campfires, and the haunting beauty of cave paintings that speak to their beliefs and rituals. But it is in the very genes of modern Europeans that we find the most enduring legacy of these Ice Age pioneers. For within their DNA lies a story of survival, adaptation, and the deep roots of human ancestry that connect us all. As the grip of the Ice Age began to loosen its hold on the continent, these early hunter-gatherer bands witnessed a transformation of their world. The glaciers retreated, revealing new landscapes of forests, meadows, and fertile river valleys. With this ecological shift came a surge in plant and animal life, providing new opportunities for sustenance and prompting changes in the ways these early Europeans lived. Among the genetic markers that trace back to these early inhabitants of Europe are haplogroups I and I1. Haplogroups are genetic lineages that descend from a common ancestor representing branches on the vast family tree of humanity. Haplogroup 1, in particular, is found at its highest frequencies in present-day Scandinavia and other parts of northern Europe, suggesting a long and continuous presence in these regions dating back to the post-glacial period. These genetic markers tell a story of resilience and adaptation. The people carrying these haplogroups were among those who weathered the harsh conditions of the Ice Age, their descendants spreading and diversifying as the climate warmed and new lands opened up to them. They were the pioneers of the North, their genes carrying the echoes of ancient migrations and the enduring legacy of survival against the odds. The story of these early hunter-gatherers is not just a tale of ancient migrations and genetic markers. It is a testament to the enduring power of human resilience and our capacity to adapt to even the most challenging environments. Their legacy lives on not just in their genes, but in the deep connection to nature and the rhythms of the earth that are woven into the cultural fabric of many European societies. As we delve deeper into the genetic history of Germany, we will encounter waves of migration and cultural exchange that have shaped the genetic makeup of the region over millennia. But it is essential to remember that the story begins with these first settlers, the hunter-gatherers, who braved the icy expanse of Ice Age Europe and left their indelible mark on the land and the DNA of its people. Around 7,000 years ago, a profound transformation swept across Europe, forever altering the course of human history. The hunter-gatherer way of life, honed over millennia of living in harmony with nature's rhythms, was about to be challenged by a radical new concept: farming. This revolution, known as the Neolithic period, would irrevocably change the landscape and the genetic makeup of Europe. The first whispers of this change were carried on the winds from the southeast, from the region we now know as Anatolia, present-day Turkey. Here, communities had begun to cultivate crops and domesticate animals, a practice that would slowly radiate outwards, reaching Europe's shores and forever altering the destiny of its inhabitants. This wasn't merely a shift in sustenance, it was a seismic cultural earthquake. The arrival of farming techniques in Central Europe brought with it a new way of life. Nomadic wanderings gave way to settled existence in villages. The rhythms of the hunt were replaced by the cycles of planting and harvest. This new way of life, demanding toil and discipline, brought its own rewards: a more predictable food supply and the ability to support larger, denser populations. The face of the land was changing too. Forests were cleared to make way for fields of wheat and barley. Livestock, now a vital part of the economy, grazed on pastures carved from the wilderness. The Neolithic revolution was not a sudden upheaval, but a gradual, inexorable tide that reshaped the very environment and the human societies within it. The arrival of agriculture wasn't the only momentous change occurring in Europe. Alongside the farmers, a new genetic lineage, haplogroup G2a, began to make its presence felt. Carried by the very people who brought the knowledge of farming, G2a spread rapidly across the continent, becoming a dominant genetic marker in many regions, including Germany. This wasn't merely a coincidence. The success of these early farmers and the spread of their genes were intricately intertwined. The farmers possessed a crucial advantage over the hunter-gatherer populations. Their lifestyle allowed for greater population density and, consequently, a higher birth rate. Children were no longer solely mouths to feed, but also helping hands in the fields, contributing to the family's survival. This demographic advantage, coupled with the increased stability offered by agriculture, tipped the scales in favor of the newcomers. The genetic impact of this period on modern Germans is undeniable. A significant percentage of German men today carry the G2 haplogroup, a testament to the lasting legacy of these Neolithic farmers. Their genes, passed down through countless generations, whisper tales of a time when the land was tamed, villages sprouted from the earth, and the foundations of modern society were laid. The Neolithic Revolution was a turning point in human history, marking the transition from a nomadic hunter-gatherer existence to a settled agrarian lifestyle. It was a period of profound change, leaving an enduring mark on the landscape, culture, and genetic makeup of Europe. Germany, situated at the heart of this transformation, bears witness to this legacy in its very soil and the DNA of its people. The arrival of agriculture and the spread of the G2a haplogroup weren't merely isolated events, they were part of a complex interplay of cultural exchange, adaptation, and demographic shifts that reshaped the human story. The encounter between hunter-gatherers and farmers wasn't always peaceful, and competition for resources likely led to conflicts. Yet, amidst the tumult, a new world was being born. The consequences of this revolution reverberate even today. The villages that emerged during the Neolithic period became the seeds of future towns and cities. The domestication of plants and animals laid the groundwork for the development of agriculture and animal husbandry practices that continue to sustain us. And the genetic legacy of these early farmers, imprinted in the DNA of modern populations, serves as a constant reminder of this pivotal era. The Neolithic Revolution wasn't just a chapter in the distant past. It was a period that set in motion forces that continue to shape our world. As we delve deeper into the genetic history of Germany, we'll uncover further layers of migration, cultural exchange and adaptation, each leaving its mark on the genetic tapestry of the nation. Yet the echoes of those early farmers who dared to plant their seeds in new lands and transform a continent will continue to resonate through the ages. As the Neolithic revolution reshaped the face of Europe, a new force was gathering momentum on the windswept steppes of Eurasia. A people of horsemen and herders, speaking languages ancestral to those spoken across much of Europe and Asia today, were about to embark on a series of migrations that would leave an indelible mark on history and genetics. These were the Indo-Europeans, and their arrival in Europe around 5,000 years ago would usher in a new era. The Indo-Europeans were not a monolithic group, but rather a collection of related tribes bound together by shared linguistic and cultural roots. They were masters of horses, their lives intertwined with the rhythms of the steppe, their movements dictated by the needs of their herds. Their mastery of horseback riding and wheeled vehicles, innovations that emerged from the heart of the steppe, gave them a decisive advantage in mobility and warfare. Their arrival in Europe was not a single event, but a series of migrations that unfolded over centuries. Driven by a complex interplay of factors, climate change, population pressures, the allure of new lands, these horsemen rode westwards, bringing with them their languages, their technologies, and their genes. Their impact on the genetic landscape of Europe, and Germany in particular, would be profound. The arrival of the Indo-Europeans in Europe coincided with the rise of a new genetic signature, haplogroups R1b and R1a. These genetic markers, closely associated with the Indo-European migrations, spread rapidly across the continent, their distribution mirroring the advance of these horsemen and herders. The presence of these haplogroups in modern populations provides compelling evidence of the genetic impact of these migrations, a testament to the power of movement and cultural exchange in shaping human diversity. The Indo-European skill in horsemanship and warfare gave them a distinct advantage in the conflicts that inevitably arose as they encountered the established populations of Europe. Their mastery of bronze metallurgy, which allowed them to forge superior weapons and tools, further tipped the scales in their favor. Their arrival often heralded a period of upheaval and transformation, as existing social structures and ways of life were challenged by the newcomers. Yet, the story of the Indo-European impact is not simply one of conquest and displacement. Genetic and archaeological evidence suggests that the process was far more nuanced, involving intermarriage, cultural assimilation, and the gradual fusion of traditions. The newcomers adopted elements of the existing cultures they encountered, while their own customs and languages left an enduring mark on the societies they joined. The most enduring legacy of the Indo-European migrations is undoubtedly their impact on language. The languages spoken across much of Europe today, from the rolling hills of Ireland to the snow-capped peaks of the Alps, can trace their roots back to the tongues spoken by those horsemen who rode out of the Eurasian steppe millennia ago. This linguistic tapestry reflects the intricate history of migration, conquest, and cultural exchange that has shaped the continent. The Indo-European influence extends beyond language into the realm of mythology and legend. The stories told around campfires, passed down through generations, often carry echoes of those early migrations and the challenges faced by those who ventured into new lands. The myths of thunder gods wielding lightning bolts forged in the heavens may reflect the awe-inspiring power of the horse and chariot, while tales of heroic quests and epic battles speak to the tumultuous nature of the times. These echoes of the past serve as a reminder that the Indo-European migrations were not merely a historical footnote, but a defining chapter in the story of Europe. They left an indelible mark on the genetic and cultural landscape of the continent, shaping the destinies of its people and laying the foundation for the diverse tapestry of languages, traditions, and identities that exist today. As the Indo-European wave receded, leaving its indelible mark on the genetic and cultural landscape of Europe, a new power emerged from the heart of the continent, the Celts. These fierce and enigmatic warriors, renowned for their martial prowess and distinctive artistic traditions, would leave their mark on the lands that would one day become Germany, adding another layer to the intricate tapestry of its genetic heritage. The Celts were not a single unified people, but rather a collection of tribes linked by shared linguistic and cultural ties who spread across Europe in the centuries following the Indo-European migrations. They were masters of ironworking, a technological advantage that gave them a decisive edge in warfare and allowed them to establish dominant positions in many regions. Their artistic sensibility, characterized by intricate designs and a love of elaborate ornamentation, found expression in everything from weaponry and jewelry to everyday objects. The Celts' impact on the genetic landscape of Germany is more subtle than that of the earlier Indo-European wave. While their presence is evident in archaeological finds and place names, their genetic contribution to the modern German population is less pronounced. This suggests that their interactions with the existing populations were characterized more by cultural exchange and assimilation rather than large-scale displacement. The Romans clashed with Germanic tribes, leaving a lasting impact on Germany's history and culture. Despite fierce battles, the Romans couldn't fully conquer Germania. As Rome's influence waned, Germanic tribes emerged, linked to Scandinavia through Haplogroup 1-1. This genetic marker shaped their heritage and culture. Haplogroup 1-1 spread among Germanic tribes due to demographic expansion and social structures. It reflects the interplay of genetics, culture, and history. Vikings carrying Haplogroup 1-1 left a genetic mark across Europe. Their raids and settlements influenced coastal regions. Slavic migrations reshaped Eastern Europe, including Eastern Germany. Their gradual settlement influenced the region's genetic and cultural landscape. Slavic migrations left a genetic footprint in Eastern Germany marked by haplogroup R1a. This reflects the historical interactions between Slavic and Germanic populations. The CCR5 D32 mutation provided resistance to the bubonic plague. This genetic advantage increased survival during pandemics. The CCR5 D32 mutation is common in Europeans, offering historical survival advantages. It highlights natural selection's impact on genetic makeup. Germany's genetic history is a complex tapestry of migrations and cultural exchanges. Modern Germans' DNA reflects this intricate legacy. The genetic story of Germany underscores humanity's interconnectedness and resilience. Our shared genetic heritage speaks to our common ancestry.